Once inside the church of San Lorenzo and Angeli Custodi, go over to the chapel dedicated to St. Anthony the Abbot, the first in the right-hand side nave. Here you will find a canvas showing the Immaculate Conception with St. Anthony the Abbot, St. Anthony of Padua and the Souls in Purgatory, dating from 1892. Surrounded by twisted columns and music-playing angels, flowers and fruit and stucco work. Of particular interest is the vault with 4 paintings, framed by moulded stucco, depicting 4 miracles performed by St. Anthony of Padua: the heretic's mule, the sermon to the fishes, the dead man speaking, and the reattached foot. The 2 miracles of the sermon to the fishes and the reattached foot are accompanied by a tactile graphic on the panel. The miracle of the heretic's mule is framed above the main canvas and shows the debate between St. Anthony and the heretic about the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. Anthony places a host in front of the mule and the animal kneels, ignoring the fodder offered by the heretic. In the frame on the left is a depiction of the miraculous episode of the Sermon of the Fishes. St. Anthony has a young, clean-shaven face and wears a modest brown robe with rosary hanging at his belt. His right hand is raised in blessing, and he is facing a shoal of fish who are coming out of the sea. Behind him stands a group of people watching the miracle. A bearded old man with a hat and a wide red fur-trimmed cloak next to a woman with an amazed expression, of whom we only see the head and shoulders, and another face that seems to be of a young girl. The miracle took place in Rimini. When the Franciscan missionary arrived there, the heretic leaders gave orders that no one was to talk with him. Anthony found nobody who would listen to his preaching. As he wandered around between prayers, he ended up at the seashore. Here he found hundreds of fish who miraculously came up to the surface and listened attentively to the saint's words. Above the chapel's arch, we can see another miraculous episode, this one set in Lisbon and showing a dead man speaking. In order to exonerate an innocent man who had been accused of murder, the saint had the murdered corpse brought to the courtroom. To everyone's amazement, the dead body sat up and clearly said the name of the true murderer. The last scene, painted in the chapel's cupola, shows the miracle of the reattached foot. On the left, we see a Franciscan priest coming out of the door of a building that serves as a backdrop, while in the centre, a young St. Anthony is kneeling, wearing a Franciscan habit. In his hands, he holds a man's foot. Next to the saint is one young man with short, curly hair, dressed in green with wide collar, and another with long, wavy hair, and his right foot is cut off at the ankle. A man had confessed to Anthony that he had been given a violent kick to his mother. The saint said, "The foot that hits the mother or father deserves to be immediately cut off." The man, overwhelmed by remorse, cut his foot off when he returned home, but the saint managed to reattach the foot by making a sign of the cross.